You roll right back into that on how people can benefit from the information and not just be making resolutions and not sticking to them, but now they actually make a difference this time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to be seriously committed for the moment. And why not now?
Oh,
Anniversaries can be created at any date, then become annual. So why not now to make a life change? Why would it have to wait for a specific later date? One thing that I was able to change in my life is the no longer consuming an alcohol. It's been, I almost lost track now, but I think I've been 6 years, six
wow.
plus years, alcohol free.
Good for you, man.
And I was so addicted that I was drinking 151 and Everclear mixed. Like, that's how serious I was.
Is that like super strong? I know Everclear is strong, but what's 151?
151 used to be a brand of Bacardi.
Oh, wow.
It was an overproof Bacardi that was 151 proof. So dark liquor and white liquor mixed together at an overproof level. And during that time, I had a personal relationship that I was committed to. And I told myself that once I was able to have that situation comfortably free from my residential comfort, that was the moment that I was going to stop drinking. And one day I came home and this person moved all of their possessions out of my residence, and I no longer drank from that moment. Every alcohol bottle that I owned, that I still had, I poured all of that out.
Wow.
And that's what I mean about making a commitment, is because I was so serious about what I needed to do. And at the same time, I was going through a lot of physical uncomfortableness, to say that. You know, what we would call the hangover, recovering from hangovers. Those would be a whole lot more uncomfortable the more you do it, the older you get. You know, the recovery time becomes a whole lot more I was thinking of sick, you know, as far as feeling sick and not really feeling healthy.
Right, yeah.
You know,
100%. I get that for sure.
so I made a serious commitment and I held by my word. So it's like, why not today?
Right now, like
Right now.
not like, yeah, when the ball drop at BLT New Year's Eve, man. When New Year's Eve, man, I'm done fucking with that bitch. So woo woo woo. Like, why not on the 29th if it came down to it when it happened?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Because my whole, what I hear from a lot of people, it's just kind of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
You know, and not to say that trying to commit or make a statement towards something that you're trying to achieve is bad.
Yeah.
You know, because having the thought is important, but what we are discussing really is the question of how important and how serious are you? Making a resolution is one thing,
yeah.
but how committed are you to this resolution? And again, why does it have to start at a later date, and why not now?
So what you saying, you trying to push them outside of the idea of it even being a resolution?
Yeah, live for the moment.
It should be like a choice, period. It shouldn't be like
Well, a resolution in definition is really coming to a complete finalization or a point.
Yeah.
So at the moment, why not have that be your moment or your point of resolution?
Oh, I see what you mean now. I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you trying to push them outside of it being about time.
The time is now.
Time.
Why does it have to be next week?
Right.
Why does it have to be a month from now?
Right.
Why do you have to go on a diet next month?
Yeah.
But then eat, all of this unhealthy food
up until
that point. What's the probability of you stopping?
Right.
And usually it takes a serious life detriment for you to be forced into making that change. But why have something else force you and you willingly give yourself to change?
Wow. What you think, like, the reason usually is for,
I just feel like, and this is just a personal feeling through my many observations, it's smoke and mirrors. And usually people tell these resolutions to other people. When they talk to themselves, I'm sure they know the likelihood is really not going to complete itself. And that's because you're really not committed.
Wow.
Because if you were, why not the moment?
Yeah.
If your girlfriend cheated on you, are you going to wait until about 2 months to talk about that?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about the moment. Like, look, we need to figure this out right now. Like, and at the moment, you're going to make choices and process in thought what you need to do moving forward, because immediately this is causing you a high level of distress that you need to figure out.
Right.
But it's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a health choice, when it comes to smoking or drinking or exercise, why can't it be like the gal that just slept with, 3 of your best friends?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that you'd make a change at the moment.
To just drop her. Yeah. So that what you saying is they're really not serious. They don't really want to change. That's just like the idea of it being a New Year resolution.
Or let's take it a little step further in that same analogy. So you have bad feelings about this particular person that you're dating. You're very uncomfortable, but you stay with it just because.
Right.
And you keep talking about, maybe I shouldn't be with her or him. I know that they're really not good for me. But it takes for that specific situation or detriment for you to make that immediate choice. So, if you parallel that, why would it have to take a specific health situation, a detrimental health situation, or life experience for you to make a change that you know that you need to make? Why not the moment be now?
Facts. Wow. Man, you know that make a lot of sense, man.
I mean, I'm not trying to change people's minds or thoughts and how to, I mean, these are just questions not only I mostly ask myself and my intentions and my commitments.
Yeah.
And you was asking how would someone be able to move forward into following through with these commitments? Ask yourself these questions inside of your head.
Yeah.
And that's how you become serious and become forward in your movement towards change.
Right.
Or resolving to something new.
And actually, we still got good time, man. I got a question. So basically, all right, boom. When people, for example, they're in an environment that's causing them to keep looping, doing the same thing. And it's hard for them to get out of that environment. But they want to change, but they still in that environment. And you saying that, you know, they should be able to change even being within that environment?
Well, with environment, I think of the word complacency. And complacency is mostly about you. It is about you. Why do you make yourself continue to be comfortable in those areas? Why do you commit yourself to be in those specific places or be in that environment?
And what if they're like, you know, shit, OG, I can't, I don't have no bread till I get my own spot. I don't have a whip to like.
Man, look, you have to bet on yourself. Or you could continue to ride that hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? And I am a man that's going to talk about empathy. And I've been in those situations where I was homeless. I didn't have a place to stay. I was staying in a place that was uncomfortable with some uncomfortable people. So do I stay there just because? Or do I commit myself to something different because I know that this isn't going to work? So then it comes down to fear. And why is there such a strong sense of complacency or attachment? And usually that's because of something you feel like you're getting out of that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what is so important in that situation that overrides your commitment to your safety or your self-health or your self-worth?
Yeah.
What are you holding more value that is limiting those other things to not be immediately important?
And then that comes down to how they see themselves and what they allow people to do to them, how they allow people to treat them.
Or maybe how you choose for them to treat you, or how you choose yourself to treat yourself.
Yeah.
You know, when you say, hey, I don't have no bread, right? Now, this is not everybody, but I start thinking in different dynamics because I've ran into people that have specific habits where, you know, speaking openly, they buy weed or, you know, the alcohol or the cigarettes. They have money for those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't have money to be able to stash and, you know, create a different situation. So then that goes back into that complacency.
Right.
See, you need to be real with yourself.
Right.
And what you're doing, because the reason why you're in the situation is less about someone else and more about you wanting or feeling the need to be there. Then the question is why?
Why? Right. Wow. Man, look, y'all.
Are they serving you up? You know what I'm saying? You get a blunt a day?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I stayed in a place where, yeah, you know, hey, man, you know, I light you up. You know what I'm saying? But at the that's the only moment, and even that is a little bit, you know, smoke and mirrors, shady, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you more worried about enjoying the high of smoking that blunt,
Right.
as opposed to the fact that this is an uncomfortable situation, and all I'm doing is setting myself in the thought of complacency, feeling like I need that blunt more than I need the freedom of this attachment in this uncomfortable situation.
Wow. So it comes down, man, y'all. It comes down to you. What you telling yourself? Are you being real? Are you being honest, man? Honesty equals freedom. You got any more thoughts, Sensei? This is dope.
I always, the only thing I really just have to say is self-worth is a huge thing. How you value yourself is going to determine the value that others give you. If you devalue yourself, then you're going to create devaluating conditions and experiences. If you truly value yourself and have a level of worth, you are going to commit to something higher, and people are going to admire and acknowledge that light. So, when are you going to choose to make now your time to resolve into something new? Does it have to wait until January 1st of 2025? I mean, right now, today, it's December 25th of 2024. So why not today? It's only a week. New Year's is literally a week away.
Right.
New Year's Eve is 6 days away. But why do we have to wait until New Year's Eve to stop drinking when we know we're going to have an alcohol party?
Surrounded by the same things that we want to shed.
Same things we want to shed, the same things we want to get rid of. We're ingratiating ourselves in that environment, but we're talking about change.
And then by January 15th, 2025, it's going to be when it's January 1st, 2026, I'm going to change again.
Yeah. Something will happen to make you upset. You don't have control, and you need the crutch. Or you're dependent on the old, the complacency.
Wow.
No control, no true commitment. So yeah, January 15th, you'll be talking about, man, January 1st, 2026. I can't wait till that get around.
Right.
Guess what? That's 350 days away. Do the math.
That's crazy. For real, man. That's dope.
It is interesting, I'll tell you that much.
And, you know, it's the simple fact is, you know, we're not judging or telling anybody what to do. We're repeating back to you what you done told everybody else and told yourself about New Year's. And you want to change. If it was somebody saying, you know what, I don't want to change. I like being a bum. I like this. And by the way, when New Year's come, I'm going to be a bum again. We would let them just do them. But we talking to y'all who's talking the talk but not walking the walk. See, that's when we come in at. You feel me? Because it's all about one thought, one way, being everything in one way, not talking about one thing and then doing another thing. You going in two different directions. And I don't like that. That don't feel good. Feel me? So if you hear something that Mr. Sensei Fouché just said and it registered, listen, smother the ego down and take in what he's saying and say, you know what? He right. Oh, I need to, you know what? He's right. And that's it. Get moving, because once it's the first step, once you start moving, it's done. Once you start moving, it's done. You got to lock in on that decision though, but that's up to you. All we can do is just share some words and concepts, and you know what I'm saying?
Because again, man, we're not judging you. You know what I'm saying? You judge yourself by what you say to others and what you follow through or not follow through with. And then all we do is observe. And then it's like commentary in a football game, or, you know, where we're just throwing the commentary off of the information of what you told and then what you showed us on the playing field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just throwing back the commentary because this is what you said your game plan was and this is what you performed. So then all I'm doing is throwing the commentary. But see, I'm more worried about what I'm doing and judging myself. You're your own judge like I'm my own judge. And I'm where I'm at because of how I choose to judge myself and how I analyze myself. Same with yourself. And then the question is, who are you and where are you at and why?
Peace.